Thomas the Tank Engine has worked on his branch line for many years and knows it very well. "You know just where to stop, Thomas," laughed his driver. "You can almost manage it without me." Thomas had become conceited. He didn't realize his driver was only joking. Later, he boasted to the others. "Driver says I don't need him now." "Don't be so daft," snorted Percy. "I'd never go without my driver," said Toby earnestly. "I'd be frightened." "Oh, so you laugh at me for being scared of a ghost, but you can't even move on your own? Such weaklings you are." "Well, let me tell you right. I'm not scared." "You never dare." "Well, you'll see. You'll see." The next morning, the firelighter came and Thomas drowsed comfortably as the warmth spread through his boiler. Percy and Toby were still asleep, and Thomas remembered. "Silly stick in the mud," Thomas chuckled. "I'll show him. Driver says I could go on my own, so I'll give him a day off. I'll just go out, and then I'll stop and whoosh. That will make them jump." Thomas thought he was clever, but he was only moving because of a careless cleaner meddled with his controls. Thomas soon realized his mistake. He tried to stop, he tried to wish, but he couldn't for both. And there was the station master's house. The buffers were under repair. "Horrors!" cried Thomas, and shut his eyes. The house rocked, glass tinkled everywhere, and plaster fell on Thomas. Thomas had collected a bush for his travels. He peered through the leaves and in the house, too. With leaves through his mouth, he couldn't speak. His wife picked up her plate. "You miserable engine, just look what you've done to our breakfast. Now I shall have to cook some more." As she sprang to the door. As she did so, more plaster fell on Thomas. The workmen propped up the house with sharp poles and laid rails to the garden. "Don't refresh yourself, Thomas. We'll soon have you back on the rails." And Donald and Douglas pulled Thomas out of the house. "I'm so sorry," Thomas said as he was being pulled out of the house with a bush on his face. Donald and Douglas, puffing hard, managed to bring back Thomas to safety. Thomas looked miserable. Donald and Douglas laughed, chuffing away. Thomas was depressed and in disgrace. He knew that the Fat Controller had a word with him. "Well, Thomas, I hope you're proud of yourself." No, sir. I'm not. "While you'll be to the works, a diesel rail car will be replacing you." A diesel, sir?" Thomas said quietly. "Yes, Thomas, because unlike you, they don't go gallivanting off into station masters' houses." Percy and Toby were annoyed with Thomas. "Wow, the woolly bear wasn't enough for you, Thomas." "Too far, too much, buddy." "A bit too ticky for you, I'd say." "Hopefully you learned your lesson," the two said at last.